Story time! And this is actually my neighbor Lana's story. She lives right over there. So because of the pandemic, Lana went home for a few months, and she finally came back to London in March. But when she came back, the elevator in our building was unfortunately not working. Now, Lana and I live on the 4th floor, and she had 2 big suitcases with her, so she was struggling to bring up her suitcases. So Lana decided to ask the man who was living on the ground floor if he would help bring up her suitcases. So she knocked on his door, asked him for help, he said yes. The man brought up her suitcases, Lana said thank you, because, it was a really nice thing to do, and she said goodbye. She thought that was it, that was the end of their interaction. It wasn't. A few minutes after he helped her, Lana suddenly received friend requests on Instagram and on other social media platforms from that man. Now, we have a communal mail area, which means that downstairs there's a table and everyone's mail is on that table, and you just pick up your mail if it's for you. That man must have gone through that mail to find her name, found her on Instagram, and added her. I have to do a part 2. Part 2. So after he added her on Instagram, he messaged her. Then Lana messaged back saying, "Thank you again so much for having helped me today." But then the guy messaged her again, and again and again and again and again, and he wouldn't stop messaging her. And his messages would say, "I think I deserve a coffee because I helped you with your suitcases. We should go get coffee." Or, "You owe me dinner because I helped you with your suitcases." Lana started to feel incredibly uncomfortable. She just asked this guy for a favor. She didn't know that she would owe him a date because of it. I mean, what if Lana was actually an 80-year-old man, not a 23-year-old girl? Would that 35-year-old guy then have asked the 80-year-old man for dinner or for coffee? No. The only reason why Lana is being harassed is because she's a woman. If you help a woman, you're not owed a date. A simple thank you should be enough. I mean, Lana now feels incredibly uncomfortable in our building. Whenever she passes in front of that guy's flat, she walks really fast because she's scared to bump into him. Tell me about a time where you felt like your life was in danger because of a man. I'll go first. A few years ago, I moved to London because I wanted to become an actor, and I didn't have an agent yet, so I was applying to these casting calls through these various casting websites, and I got a response from someone saying, "Hi, we really would like for you to come in for an audition. Our office is located at da-da-da-da-da. You'll be meeting with da-da-da-da-da. Here's the project information." So I looked everything up and it all seemed really legit. So I was like, okay, cool, this is a real audition. I'm gonna go. So I go to where their office is, I ring the bell, they buzz me in, I walk down this long hallway and I knock on the door of, the number that I was supposed to go to. And this man slightly opens the door and goes, "Hi, are you here for the audition?" And I was like, yes, I am. And he goes, "Oh, great, come in." So I go inside, and I couldn't really see inside the place at this point, but I go inside, he closes the door, he locks the door, and I look around. I'm not in an office. I'm inside this man's apartment. And he just locked the door, and I'm locked inside. Part 2 is coming. Part 2. So inside I'm freaking out because I know that something is very, very wrong, but I'm trying not to show that because I want to stay in control of the situation, and I want to get myself out of it safely. So I was like, okay, I need to stay calm, I need to figure this out. So he tells me to go into the living room, which is right to the left, and there's another door to go through. So I go through it. He closes that door, locks that door. I was like, okay, this is bad. So he tells me to sit on the sofa. I sit on the sofa, and he goes, "I have a demo reel of what the project is going to be like. Would you like to see it?" I was like, sure. So he puts it on his laptop, which is on a desk over there, and he goes and stands in the kitchen on the other side of the room. So he's watching me about to watch this video. So the video starts playing, and it's an adult video of this girl who's in lingerie and who's also not in lingerie in some parts, and she's covered in a red substance, which looks like blood. So, oh my god, I have to do a part 3. I'm so sorry. Part 3. So he's watching me watch this video, except I'm not watching the video. I am memorizing everything that's in that space, everything that's in my view that I can use as a weapon. So there was a pencil, there was a lamp, there was a frame with, a glass frame. I was there for 8 minutes taking everything in to see what I could use in case he tried something on me. So the video stops playing and he goes, "So what did you think? Would you like to be in our project?" And I was like, honestly, I just started out acting and I don't think that I'm ready for this type of project, but thank you for the consideration. I hope that you find, the right actress for your project. And he goes, wait. You're an actress. You shouldn't say no. You should always try to improve so you can learn. Don't worry, I have an idea. Let's do a role play scenario. Imagine that you're locked inside a house, let's say inside this space, and you're trying to escape, and someone is trying to stop you, so I will try to stop you. Part 4, I'm sorry. Part 4. So he wants to role play a scenario where I'm trying to escape and he's trying to stop me. Obviously, if we role played that would give him permission to touch me and to, stop me from leaving. So I was like, I honestly don't feel comfortable doing that kind of role play because I really don't think I'm ready as an actor to be put into that kind of situation. But thank you so much. Again, good luck with finding the right actress for your project. So I get up and I go to the door, which was locked, and I stand there and I look at him. And he stares at me, and we stare at each other for 1 minute. And I'm waiting for him to, come and unlock the door because I can't get out. So we're looking at each other, and he gets up, walks over to the door, unlocks the entrance door. I bolt. I have never felt so scared in my life. And if I didn't stay calm, I don't know how I would have gotten out of that situation. I'm gonna end there. I have another story. A few years ago, my friends and I went to my parents' house in LA because we went to college in Orange County, which is like an hour away. But my parents were out of town, so we were like, let's go to LA for a night. So we go to LA, and then we decided to go to a USC football game. So we call an Uber, we go to the game, and after the game, I realized that I couldn't find my house keys anywhere. So I figured that I must have left them in the Uber just because I didn't open my bag at all during the game, so I didn't see how they would have fallen out. So they must have fallen out in the Uber when we first got in after I left my house. So I called the Uber driver, and at first he didn't pick up the phone. And eventually he picked up the phone, and I was like, hi, I think I forgot something in your car. And he goes, I don't have your keys. And I was like, I didn't say I lost my keys. But yeah, I did. Are you sure you don't have them? And he was like, no, sorry. And then he hung up the phone, and then he stopped picking up. So my friends and I were like, well, that's sketchy. He definitely has my house keys, and he knows where I live because he picked us up from there. But whatever, let's just go back home and try to figure it out. I have to do part 2. Part 2. So we go back to my parents' house and we go inside through the garage because I had a code you could do to go in, and everything inside the house seemed normal. Like, it didn't seem like anyone broke in. So we were like, okay, that's a good sign. But I was like, I'm still gonna put the house alarm on just in case while we sleep. So I put the alarm on, we go and get ready for bed, and as we're getting ready for bed, the alarms trip. So we were like, he's here. He has my house keys. He knows where I live. The Uber guy is here. So we're all freaking out. And then my friend goes, hello? And we were like, no, why would you do that? They do that in movies and then they die. Now he knows where we're located. So we're mad at my friend. We're crying. The alarms are still going off. There's probably a man downstairs with a knife. And eventually the alarm company calls my phone and they're like, hi, your alarms are going off and you still haven't turned them off. Do you want us to send someone? And I was like, yes, please send someone. I think there's an intruder in the house. So they sent the cops. The cops did a sweep. They didn't find anyone. They said that the alarms probably scared them off, so we're probably fine. Anyway, that's the end of the story. We're too scared to sleep there that night, so we drove back to Orange County, and yay for alarm. I feel like I should share another story, so here's another story. When I first moved to London, I lived in a flat that was a 10-minute walk away from my best friend's flat, and she lived on a high street, and I lived off the high street. So if this is the high street, she lived here, and I lived down the high street and off on a small, quiet street. This one night, I went over to her house for dinner, and after dinner, I had to walk home. It was 10 p.m. Most of the walk was on a busy high street, so I figured it was safe. Silly me. So I'm walking home, and then I realized that a man was following me, and I tested it. He was definitely following me. So I started getting freaked out because I was like, I can't walk on my quiet street to my flat with this man following me. That doesn't sound safe. So on the corner of the high street and my street, there was luckily a boutique hotel, and there was a doorman outside.